Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, it is that time for another payday prep. So happy Saturday to you guys, okay? And in case I forget, for any of you that celebrate Easter, happy Easter tomorrow, all right? I hope you guys have a great day. And for those of you that don't, happy Sunday tomorrow, all right? I hope you have a great day as well. All right, so this is my payday prep for this week, and I'm going to go over the things that I got and a few reasons why I got some of the things that I got. Okay, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, let me tell you guys that since this payday prep is not going to take very long, I have a little bonus after this payday prep. It's going to be part of the same video, okay? It's something that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to do a video on its own because I've done a few of these. And I figured that it would be a good addition to this video. Okay, so I hope that you'll enjoy it. I think you will. I'm actually pretty excited about it because I'll give you a hint. Now that I have a Dutch oven, I am able to make this. All right. So anyways, let's start off with all this coffee. So I did run out of coffee actually. I was actually on my last can. And I'm like, and I'm almost done. I'm like, oh man, I'm out of coffee. I got to go get some. So I go to the store, right? And I noticed that the price is higher again. It's like higher by like 10 cents than it was last time. Because I can remember pretty good. Now, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and stock up on this so that I can at least have a year's supply. All right? Because this right here, what you see, is about a year's supply for what we use here in the house. All right, so this coffee here is my favorite, Café Bustelo. All right, however, I've only ever found it in a can like this. Okay, and I had a bad experience. If you guys go way back on one of my older videos, it was about coffee having gone bad. I had some of these cans, actually the bigger cans, and I'd had them for about a year and a half, 2 years, and they were all bad. And they were still brand new. So I ended up throwing away probably about $50 worth of coffee that day, if not a little more. All right. So I get enough of these to last me a couple of months. These 3 cans right here, these will last me 2 to 3 months. All right. And then I get these right here because these are my second favorite. This is my second favorite brand of coffee. It's a Puerto Rican coffee, I do believe, either Puerto Rican or Cuban, but I think it's Puerto Rican coffee. All right. Oh, yes, it's Puerto Rican coffee. I do believe. Hey, Bastet, let me know if this is actually Puerto Rican coffee. All right, you'll know. All right, but this coffee is really good. It's a very close second to this one, as far as I'm concerned, right? But these I've had great luck with. The oldest one of these that I've had was over a year old, and it was still very good. It was still just like if I bought it the first day I bought it. All right. So I really like the idea of having a lot of these in stock because I know that these, if something happens where we can't get coffee or coffee becomes so expensive that we still can't get it, you know, because it's so expensive. I know that rationing these, one of these, if I ration it, will last me 2 months. Just one of these little blocks. The way I go through it now, probably about a month. All right. Because I like my coffee strong. However, I can drink it a little bit lighter, and I have no problem with that. So if I have to ration it, I know that these will last me a couple months each. So I would say that rationing this coffee, I have about a year and a half worth of coffee to 2 years worth of coffee right here. Okay, and I know that these guys are going to last, you know, longer than these guys are in a can. All right, so that's why I bought more of the coffee in the brick container. All right, in the vacuum sealed brick container. So just to let you know real quick, when I first started buying this coffee here, these were $1.99 a piece, which was a great deal. Now for this same one, it's like $3.29. So it's gone up by more than 50% in price in the last couple of years, I would say 2.5, 3 years. These guys, when I first started buying them here, they were about $2.49 a piece. All right. And now there are about, I think it's like $3.69, something like that. So it's gone up about 50% as well in price, roughly, right? So when I went back this last time, This had gone up by about 20 cents since the last time I bought them, and these had gone up by about 10 cents or so since the last time I bought them. So I'm like, goodness gracious, they just keep going up. So that's why I decided to go ahead and stock up on these, so that I'm going to continue to buy them as long as I can still buy them, right? But all I've learned in the last year and a half or 2 years that I've been buying them is that they've only kept going up in price. So I was like, I might as well just go ahead and buy a few right now and at least have some at this price instead of paying a higher price in another month or two, right? When they go up in price again, okay? So I also noticed that we were down a box of baby wipes. So my wife noticed that they had them on sale at Costco. So we actually got 2 of these. All right, so I'm only showing one here, but we got 2 of them. All right, because we use baby wipes here on a pretty regular basis, and I think it's a great thing to have. If you guys have seen my toilet paper video that I did on, well, actually not just toilet paper, but on different alternatives to taking care of your number 2 needs, right, or cleaning after yourself after number 2 needs, you'll see that I'm a big proponent of baby wipes. And also the coin tissues, all right? I would rather have this stored away for long term than to have toilet paper, to tell you the truth. I think they take up less room, and I think that they provide more than just one function, right? So I got a couple of these. And like I said, they were on sale. They were like $4 off or something like that, which is a really good deal. And shrinkflation is taking place because these packages used to come in 1,000 count packs. So it used to be 10 100 count. Now they're selling 9 100 count. So that's why I took advantage of this now, is because they were on sale. So when they're on sale now, I'm probably paying the same price that I used to pay when they were 1,000 at regular price. All right, so that's how that works. That's how shrinkflation works, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I was running out of some Food Saver bags, and they had a great deal on these. And this is actually a really good deal. You get 3 rolls of, you get 1 roll of 8-inch by 20 feet, and then you get 2 rolls of the 11-inch by 16 feet. And then you also get 36 quart size bags that are already pre-made. I think that is a great, great deal. All right. And I also got some of these oven bags that were on sale. These are usually about twice as much as that, or actually they're probably in the $3 range over here. And they had 3 of them, so I got 3 of these, all right? And I'm going to use these for more than just cooking with. I actually got them for doing other things other than cooking, all right? And that's coming up in another video, probably next week, all right? So I got 3 of those at a great price, I think. I also picked up 5 more cans of the sweetened condensed milk, even though I already have 13 of them. These were such a good price that I figured I'd pick some more up. They were only $1.40 or something like that. I know they were less than $1.50, so they were like $1.40, $1.42, something like that. So I thought that was a great price for these. I've had this brand before, and it's condensed milk. It's sweetened condensed milk. All right, so it tastes just like any other sweetened condensed milk that I've had. Right, and these I actually picked up at Fred Meyer. All right, and they were on sale for 69 cents a piece. So I picked up 6 of each. I picked up 6 mushroom and 6 cream of chicken, which I think 69 cents is a pretty good deal. I can't believe how the price of these Campbell's soup have gone up. I remember back when, this is probably 20 years plus, where you can get, when they were on sale, you can get them like 10 for $1. Do any of you guys remember that? When these guys used to be like 10 for $1? If you do, then you probably remember when a hamburger at McDonald's, when they had their deals. I know when I grew up in New York, they used to have like a deal every Tuesday. You can buy hamburgers for like 15 cents. So it was around the same time here, or time that you can buy these things a lot cheaper. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my payday prep. I hope that you guys go out there and find some sales, all right? Because I will have to say that the only thing I didn't get a really good deal on that wasn't really on sale was the coffee. I paid regular price for these. But like I said, I know from my experience, just in the last year and a half or two, I know they're going to keep going up in price because that's all they've been doing for the last couple of years. So this is the only thing that I really didn't get a great deal on, but I got a really good deal on these other items. And it's actually items that I really want and will use. All right. Now, before I go ahead and shut down for the payday prep portion of this video, let me show you guys real quick. Remember the flour and the pancake mix that I was sealing up? I just want to show you, that way if any of you didn't see the last video I did where I showed you guys where I was sealing my cereal. Look at that. Remember I told you it was going to suck everything in? So look at that. It's sucked right in on itself. There's like no air in there anywhere. So all the air all of the oxygen got sucked out. Okay? So everything in there is good. Now I know, you can see that I labeled it flour. Now I know that those oxygen absorbers are good. I know that the seal on my Mylar bag sealed properly. Okay, now I can take this, close it up, put a lid on it, and go ahead and put it away for deep storage. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, also I wanted to cover this real quick. I had a lot of comments telling me that you shouldn't store away pancake mix for a long time. Something about that it goes rancid or something. And I believe you guys, all of you that said that, I believe you. All right. But let me tell you my experience. The oldest pancake mix that I have actually eaten, and I know I replied back on a few of the comments. The oldest pancake mix that I've eaten is that Kirkland brand, the one that I showed you on that video where I, put it in the Mylar bag. The oldest pancake, I think, was at least 3 years past its expiration date. All right, maybe 4 or 4.5. Because I remember, I can go look, but if I remember correctly, the expiration date on that package is 2015 or 2016. And that pancake mix, absolutely nothing wrong with it. And that was just being stored in its original container. All right, I didn't have that thing in a container that was sealed with an oxygen absorber or anything like that. That was just being stored in its original container, but being stored in a nice, cool, dry, dark place. All right. And we've been eating off of that bag for almost a year now. Okay. And it's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It rises like it's supposed to rise, when you put it on the skillet, and it tastes like it's supposed to taste. We just had some this Sunday and we're fine. No one's ill or anything like that from it. So I'm not telling you to go ahead and purposely, allow your pancake mix to get 4 or 5 years after the expiration before you eat it. Obviously not, right? You want to rotate it. But I just wanted to let you know that that specific brand that I have there, I don't know if they do anything different with it or anything like that, but it does not act in any of the ways that I've been told in the comments that, it can make you sick, that it goes rancid or bad. Some people told me that you'll notice that it smells really bad. None of those things have happened with that pancake mix that I got. So just letting you guys know that. I'm not sure if it's different with other pancake mixes, but that's mainly the pancake mix that we use here because we like it so much. And that bag is we actually got that bag from when we moved here from the lower 48. So actually that bag, it's got to be at least a good 5 or 6 years old. Okay. So, and we're still eating off of it. So just letting you guys know about that. But obviously you guys have to do what you're comfortable with and what you're okay with doing because you're prepping for yourselves. All right. I'm just trying to give you guys a little motivation and ideas on what you can do. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, again, this is my payday prep. Go out there, ladies and gentlemen. Food is cheap. It's still cheap. All right. Go out there and instead of spending money in a restaurant, all right, where they're going to charge you about 10 times more than what it would cost you to do it yourself at home, go ahead and cook at home and use that money that you save on some preps. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, hang tight. I'm going to be back here in a minute with the next portion of this video. And I hope that you're going to enjoy this because I'm enjoying myself doing it. All right. So you probably already guessed what it is if you know that I like to do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and throw in kind of like a bonus segment to this live chat. And the reason I decided not to make this its own video is because I've done, you know, a few different videos on making bread. But if you guys are still here, I am going to show you guys the easiest bread recipe there is. And the reason I haven't showed you this before is because for this bread recipe, you need a Dutch oven. And I just got a Dutch oven. I got two of them, right? And I haven't had a Dutch oven. I had one a long time ago before I knew that cast iron cookware was gold. Now that I know that cast iron is gold, you know, I'll never get rid of it, right? But this, ladies and gentlemen, is truly the easiest bread recipe that you are going to find anywhere. And guess what? You don't have to spend any time kneading, all right? It's a no-knead recipe, and I call it kind of like an artesian type bread recipe because when you're done cooking the bread, that's kind of like what it looks like, right? Very easy recipe to remember, and I'm going to tell you right now what it is. Now, I've done this one a couple of different ways, but the way I'm going to do it now is the best way that it works for me. But you can play with it yourself, right? Once you've got the base down, you can do little tweaks to make it how you want it. Like you may want to add a little less salt, all right? You may want to add a little more water, okay? Because this is going to be a very sticky dough recipe, all right? So let me tell you what we're going to need. We're going to need 4 cups of flour. We're going to need about 1 3/4 cups of warm water. Right now, my water is at about 128 degrees, okay? Which is fine as long as it's below 130 and I would say above 110, okay? We're going to need a teaspoon of salt and we're going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of yeast, and that's it. And guess what? No kneading. All right, so let's get started. Let's go ahead and put our 4 cups of flour in here. Okay, 2, 3. And you will need a little bit more flour later on, all right, for when you handle the dough before you put it in the oven. So you should leave your flour out, okay? Now we're also going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. Sprinkle it on there. And there's no oil. We don't need any oil for this recipe, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, if you want to put less salt, by all means, you can put a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and that will be just fine. I personally find that having 1 teaspoon really allows for the flavor to be enhanced, okay? And now that we've got all that in there, just a second, let me put my yeast in the fridge. Uh-oh. There. All right, now that we've got all of that in there, and also, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got some kind of a dough scraper, I don't have a dough scraper, so I just take the working end of a what is this? Whatever this material is called, the working end of a spoon off the handle, and I use this. Okay, so we're gonna mix this up. Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, that every time that I talk to you guys, when I'm making something new, like a new bread recipe or something, I always tell you, this is going to be the easiest, but really, this is a very simple recipe, and you're really going to like it. Something else that you're going to need that I'll show you later on is going to be some parchment paper, okay? And we'll show you what that's for later on. But it's going to make the baking easier for you to be able to handle the dough and also to be able to handle the finished product. Okay. Now it looks like we're going to need a little bit more water. All right, so it's a good thing that I have my water pretty warm because this is supposed to be a sticky. So I told you 1 3/4 cups. We're going to go ahead and put another 1/4 cup of water in here. All right, so we're working with 2 cups of water right now. Okay. Ah, this looks much better. Yes, this looks much better. This is what it's supposed to look like right here. Okay. All right. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Just about done with the first step. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you all, this is one of those recipes where you're going to have patience, right? Most of the time that it takes to prepare this is waiting, all right? So if you're going to do this, maybe start doing it early in the morning when you wake up if you're going to want it for lunch or something like that. But you're looking at about 3 hours of waiting after you've done this part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to cover this up. Let's put this over here. I'm going to cover this with a lid. Okay. And I'm going to let it sit there for about 3 hours. Okay. What's going to happen in the next 3 hours is all of your flour in there is going to be able to absorb all that water. It's still going to be a sticky dough. All right, by the time that we get back to it, and it's going to rise some. I'm not going to put this to proof. I'm just going to leave it right out here in the open, okay? Because this is not a recipe that you have to, like, it doesn't have to double in size or anything like that, okay? It's going to increase in size, all right? It's going to somewhat proof a little bit, but you don't have to put it in the microwave. You don't have to put it on top of a slow cooker or anything like that like I've done in the past, all right? The work that's going to be done here by the yeast, all right, the temperature of the water that you put in there is going to be good enough. What I'm going to do with this now is just cover it with a towel and leave it alone and not touch it for the next 3 hours. So we'll be back in about 3 hours and I'll show you the next step. And trust me, the next step is literally going to take like maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll be ready to put it in the oven after we wait a little longer. Okay, so we'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been about just shy of 3 hours. And as you can see, the dough has at least doubled in size, I would say. Okay, so now what we want to do is, and look at that. Look at how. So now what we're going to do is we're going to first get a good amount of flour on our working surface. Okay. That way that dough doesn't stick to everything. Okay, and also, you know what? There you go. I'm going to put some of that flour in here. Okay, and this dough here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my thing, and this thing's going to pretty much almost drip out, all right? But we are going to add some flour to it, just enough so that we can handle it. There we go. Okay. Oh, over here. Okay, let me put this in the sink. And now what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to start folding it in on itself. Okay? Just like this. If you have a scraper, it'd be a lot easier than doing it with this right here. Alright? But this is what I got, so this is what I'll use. And it'll work out. But you see this right here? This is really nice. Okay, and if you need more flour, put more flour. It's not going to hurt it, trust me. Now I'm saying trust me, I haven't made this recipe in a really long time. Okay. Okay, so we got a good amount there. It looks pretty good right there. So what we're gonna do now is, oh, look at that, it's so sticky. Let me get some more flour over here. Okay, put some flour over this. Okay. Oh, there you go. See? So you just want to fold it on itself a couple of times. There we go. Okay, now what we're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a small bowl. Well, not very small, but one that would at least accommodate this. And you're also going to need to get some parchment paper. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign off real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get that bowl and the parchment paper, and we'll show you what we're going to do with it, okay? So we'll be right back. That's if I can turn off my camera because I got all dirty hands. Let's see if this will work. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So you see, I got a bowl here, all right, that will accommodate that dough. And I got a piece of parchment paper that I fitted to that bowl. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and lift that dough up, and you can only see about half of the dough on the screen because I had to push this away. We're going to lift that dough up. We're going to get our hands with nice and floury. I'm going to put a lot of flour in my hands. I'm going to lift that dough off and I'm going to plop it in here, okay? All right, so I'm pretty much just gathering it all together. Getting my hands nice and floury because this is a very sticky dough. All right, so you're with this recipe, ladies and gentlemen, you will be getting a little bit messy in the hands, all right? But don't be afraid of that. And don't be afraid of using the flour on this, okay? You'd have to use a lot of flour in order to ruin this, okay? Okay, I'm gonna one more flour burst here, and then we should be good. Okay, we're just gonna plop it in there. Don't worry about how the top looks or anything like that. I'm gonna get this little bit of excess flour out of here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it just like that. Let me get some flour here, see if we can. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So let me go ahead and clean off my hands. I'm gonna keep you guys on camera while I clean off my hands. See if I can get any of this excess dough off my hands here. It's probably just gonna make a bigger mess. All right, so what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to take that. I hope you guys can hear me. Or you know what? Just give me about 10 seconds. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to cover it with a towel again. We're going to let this rest for about 30 minutes. Okay? And in the time that we're letting it rest for about 30 minutes, we're going to preheat our oven to 440 degrees. Okay? And when we come back, I'll show you what to do. Okay, very important, all right, before I forget. While we are preheating our oven, we are going to put our Dutch oven in the oven as the oven is preheating, okay? Because we want that Dutch oven to be hot when we place this inside of it, okay? So in about 30 minutes, we'll come back to a preheated oven and to a preheated Dutch oven as well, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been about 25 minutes, so this is what our dough looks like. It hasn't risen much at all, and that's good. It's not supposed to. It's just supposed to rest for the 25 or so minutes that we put it to rest. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my Dutch oven. I'm going to take it out of the oven, and I'm going to place it right here, and we'll take it from there. Ooh, it's very hot, so this is very, very careful. Put my right here. I'm gonna take this lid off and put it somewhere where it's safe, making sure that you don't burn yourself. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me move this up. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my dough up with the parchment paper. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing it from all four corners. Let me show you real quick. I'm grabbing two of these corners. All right, this one and the other one with one hand, and then the two with the other. I'm going to put my bread in there just like that. I'm going to let it rest. Now, I almost grabbed the lid without a heat thing. There you go. I'm going to close it up. We're going to put it back in the oven. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to stay in the oven for about 25 minutes. Okay, let me set my timer. Okay, it's going to stay in the oven for about 25 minutes. At 25 minutes, we're going to come back and check it real quick and see how the top looks. And if it's not going to be crispy brown when we take it out the first time because it's covered. But what we'll do is we'll take the cover off. We'll put it back in without the lid. And since the Dutch oven is holding in a lot of that moisture, all right, once we put it back in there without the lid, since it's nice and hot in there, 440 degrees, a lot of the moisture should be sucked out really quick, giving it a nice crust. All right, so we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I haven't made this recipe in years. All right, so we'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So it's been about 26 minutes, all right? The timer went off about 30 seconds ago or so. So I'm calling it about 26 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Dutch oven out of here. And this is going to be really quick because let me close this for a second so I can show you guys. I don't want all the heat to escape the oven. All right, so let's see. Oh, it's very steamy. Whoa, look at that though, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? Check this out. It looks really nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this back in the oven without the lid. Okay? And it's going to be in there anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be able to tell when the crust on the top is nice and brown. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven right now, and we'll be back when it's done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been about 10 minutes since I put it back in the oven with the lid off. I'm going to take it out right now. Whew, very hot. Looks very nice. Let me give you guys a look at what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like. Look at that. I think that's just awesome. The crust looks really good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put it on a cooling rack. I'm going to let it cool for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I'll bring you guys back so that we can cut into it, see what it looks like. Alrighty. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So what do you guys think? It's been resting for about 10-15 minutes. And I'm curious to see what the middle looks like. And as you can see, I've got a spoon over there with a little bit of butter. So let's cut into this thing and see what it looks like. But if you can hear the crust, sounds pretty good. Ooh, it's still steaming pretty good. Oh, but it's got such a nice crust. You know, I really shouldn't be cutting into this anymore because it's still steaming a lot. But I'm going to cut just a little bit off of here so I can taste it. Let you guys know because it's still really steamy, which means that it's still cooking. But it looks good. It smells really good too. I'm going to leave that alone. But the crust, I don't know if you guys can see the crust, ladies and gentlemen. The crust is nice and thick and it's chewy. Let's see. Yep, it is. Pretty good, actually. I'm gonna put a little bit of butter on this. Let's see. That is really good, ladies and gentlemen. And I bet you I could have probably left it in there for about another 10 or 15 minutes and would have gotten nice and really brown. But that's really nice. The crust is actually nice and chewy. Some parts are crunchy. And with a little bit of butter on it, man, it's a winner, okay? It is a winner. I was going to eat that other piece, but I got something to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to tell you that so far, we still have 2 more people that still have not emailed me with their information, which is good news because out of 26 people, 24 orders are out. And I checked all the orders today, and most of them have already been delivered. Okay, I think I would say that about 20 out of the 24 that I've ordered have been delivered, or it at least said that it was out for delivery. So done really, really good. So let me say something really quick. So the anonymous person that donated the money said that after I order all of the, pressure cookers and do all the giveaways that I'm going to do, that if there's a little bit of money left over, that I can use it to do whatever giveaway I want to do for anything, right? Pretty much. There's not that much left over. I checked today, and after paying for everything that I've already ordered and then putting aside enough to purchase another 2 pressure canners, there's still about $50 left. And I thought that it would be really, really nice for our community to send Rogue Preparedness. I don't know if any of you guys follow that channel. It's a prepper channel, and the host of that channel's name is Morgan. All right, and she does a really good job, and she just had a baby. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe less. She just had a little baby, and I thought it'd be nice if we went ahead and offered Rogue Preparedness a $50 gift card to Amazon so that she can use it to get some baby preps, if you want to call it that. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and pull an executive decision and say that our community is going to donate $50 to Rogue Preparedness so that it can help out with her new baby. All right. So Rogue Preparedness, if you're watching this, congratulations on the birth of your child. And I will be emailing you a gift card for Amazon, all right, which you'll be able to redeem just from the email that I send you, or you will receive an email from Amazon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and call this one good. So I think this was a success. Like I said, it's still I had let it rest for about, look at that, it's still steaming. All right, and you really don't want to cut into your bread while it's still steaming like that because it's still cooking. I probably should have let it rest for about half an hour instead of 10 minutes because I only let it rest for like 10 minutes. All right, but what will happen is if you cut into this too quickly, it can deflate a little bit and it'll be a lot denser. And right now, if you guys can see this right now, it's very nice. It's not really dense, but it's got a little bit of a chewy consistency on the inside, right? And the crust is really nice. Little Miss Alaska Prepper is over here asking to taste this, so let's go ahead and have her taste it.
Yummy.
What do you think? Good?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. All right. Thank you very much for joining in today, for those of you that are here. All right. I hope that you guys have a good weekend. And thank you very much for all of your support. If you want to know how to support the channel, just take a look at the links below. Some ways that you can support the channel without it costing you anything is just let an ad or two run through every now and then. That really does help with YouTube and the ad revenue that I get from that. And also, if you're going to do some shopping at Amazon, please go ahead and use my Amazon link. It doesn't cost you anything more. And instead of sending all that money to the corporations, you can send a couple of pennies AP's way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.